Good Friday evening, Central Arkansas meteorologist Nathan Scott. The rain continues to fall here in downtown Little Rock. Meanwhile, Conway, you're dry. Here's a radar loop, and pretty much the strongest cell is right over Pulaski County and Saline County, moving off to the east and northeast. But there's a lot of areas you're not seeing a drop of rainfall. Not everybody's going to see the showers and storms out there for this evening. They're going to be very scattered in nature, but we have this cell. It's certainly a spicy one, producing a gully washer right over southern parts of Little Rock and extending back towards East End. And we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30 for this orange polygon that does include parts of Little Rock and off to the east. Here is the hail now tool showing the potential there could be dime to quarter size hail very close to Sardis and East End, and also watching some rotation with this cell. There it is right over Sardis approaching East End. We do have the potential that there could be a brief tornado with the setup that we have in the atmosphere. There's just enough rotation. So be on your guard and be ready to take action just in case this is upgraded to a tornado warning. We'll certainly keep you updated here on THV 11. But Sardis, East End, Rocktaken, Wrightsville, be on your guard, I would say, over the next half hour to an hour if that cell continues to maintain its strength or if it continues to strengthen. Now, all the way until 1 o'clock, any storm out there could produce hail, winds, and the potential of a brief tornado. The chance of severe weather out there tonight is low. It's a 1 out of 5, but we can't rule it out with 1 or 2 storms trying to reach their maximum potential. The weekend, it's going to be soggy. 62. Rain likely on your Saturday. Cooler on Sunday with still a lot of rain in the forecast. And the rain is going to be adding up from now all the way through Monday evening. We're looking at easily 1.5 inches to maybe 3 inches in southeast Arkansas, a solid area of 1 to 2 inches, say from Little Rock, Hot Springs, Arkadelphia, down towards Texarkana, and lower amounts into northwest and north central Arkansas, maybe approaching 1 inch. Lows tonight dropping down into the mid to upper 50s, and tomorrow it will be a cooler day. Today's hot Little Rock, we hit 73. Tomorrow we'll climb up into the upper 50s to lower 60s. Here's future radar showing the potential of scattered showers and storms through the rest of the evening into tonight. Once again, some storms could be strong, possibly severe. That chance of rain remains in place for the start of your Saturday. Earlier, we were looking at the chance of rain holding off here in Little Rock until Saturday afternoon. Now it looks like that's not going to be the case. The rain continues to build its way to the north. So if you're headed to Soma, Mardi Gras Parade, take the rain gear with you. Be prepared to get wet because rain will likely be happening for the morning, and that rain will continue to push its way off to the north. Rain will pick up in intensity Saturday afternoon, and then that round starts to move out later Saturday night. Sunday, we could start off dry for a few hours before this band of rain makes its way across the region, and that one could also bring some heavy rain at times. Then we look ahead into Sunday night into Monday. Watch what happens here. The rain changing over to snow. That looks like it's going to be a good bet for northwest Arkansas and the higher elevations. It's a medium risk of severe weather in that part of the state, maybe even a few flurries into the Ouachitas. But right now, I do think there's potential. There could be at least 2 inches of snow from this event Sunday night into Monday for the highest elevations in Newton County and Searcy County. Well, of course, we'll keep you updated throughout the weekend. Tonight, scattered showers and storms, and once again, some storms could be strong, possibly severe. And now we do have a tornado warning that has been issued for Pulaski County, Saline County with that rotation. So we'll take a quick look at the THV 1170 forecast, and I'm going to switch things over to the radar here. But there you see, we will dry things out as we get into the weekend. After we get past Monday, we dry things out, and we'll see the temperatures start to warm back up with plenty more sunshine. So I'm going to go back here to the radar because we do have that tornado warning that was issued for that rotation situated around Sardis and also around, what was the other area? So it was Sardis and I'm trying to think, East End, yes. So there's the latest tornado warning that we do have in effect right now. Once again, a new tornado warning has been issued until 7:15 for parts of Saline County, eastern parts of Saline County, getting into southern parts of Pulaski County. This does not include Little Rock. It's going to be for that area of Sardis and East End. I told you, gave you guys a heads up. We had some rotation, and now it looks like the National Weather Service says there's enough rotation with this cell that it could produce a tornado at any moment. And if it's going to produce a tornado, it's going to most likely be probably EF0 or EF1. But if you're watching us in Sardis East End, it's time to take your tornado precautions. Highway 367, Highway 167, there's East Sardis Road. Let me just go ahead and highlight this area of where we are looking at. This is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. It has not been confirmed, but this cell is certainly spinning like a top, and that's why the National Weather Service went ahead and said, all right, we've seen enough rotation, it's a low-level rotation, and this may produce a tornado at any moment. So once again, Sardis East End, Highway 367, Highway 167. I'm just looking at some information here. I'll put a track on here for you just 1 second. Once we take a look at how fast this is going, it's going to the east about 45 miles per hour. So I'm going to zoom this out, and I'll put a track on here for you so you know exactly where this is going over the next 15 to 30 minutes. It's going to the east at 45 miles per hour. So if we take that track here, and we're going to extend it into the rest of southern parts of Lono County and also into Pulaski County. So there's the rotation. We're going to put the track on here right around East End, and we'll take it through Rottaken, Woodson, Keogh, and potentially also England. So here is the towns in the path of this cell that could produce a tornado at any moment. We have Keogh around 7:18, and England, you do have the potential. You're under that tornado warning, so it is time for you to take your tornado precautions as well for the community of England, because it could be arriving in your neck of the woods around 7:20. If you're just joining us right now, this is a Doppler radar indicated tornado. Tom, I hear that you are on Chroma Key.
Okay. Yeah, I'm right over there.
Okay.
I'm here with you.
So I will let you handle it, and I'll just see your radar and go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, just a few minutes ago, this storm did wrap up enough to where the Weather Service said we got to put a warning on it. It's moving over East End right now. This is where we find the inflow, the notch that we're concerned about, moving over Highway 367. So this is our area of concern. Tonight, we were expecting 1 or 2 severe cells, possibly a tornado. This has not been confirmed, but there's enough rotation. As Nathan has put what we call a shear marker here, this is moving right over the top of East End. If you live in East End, make sure you get to your safe place immediately. Have your phone with you. You can stream us on THV 11 or on our app, and we'll keep you safe here. This is moving over 367, and we'll soon go to 167.
And the sirens are going off here.
Yeah, I can hear them.
Again,
right.
Little Rock, you are not in the path of this tornado warning, okay? Yes, the sirens are going off. They may be going off in other parts of Pulaski County, but this rotation is well down to the south. Iron Springs, Wrightsville, those areas, not Little Rock. Emergency management, when they sound sirens, it's for the whole county. So just be, you can be patient, because, again, tornado sirens are going off here in downtown Little Rock. There is no tornado threat here in downtown Little Rock. It is southern parts of Pulaski County and extreme eastern parts of Saline County getting into Lono County.
To be specific, right over the southern part of Saline County where we find East End. That's where the rotation is located, with the cell moving slowly to the east at 35 miles per hour. Living upstream, Wrightsville, Rottaken, even Woodson down to Hensley. You folks are in the polygon. This cell, if it continues its current path, is going to move over Highway 530 or Interstate 530, and then eventually Highway 365 before making it over to 161 and 232. If those highways sound familiar to you, if you live anywhere near those in southern parts of Pulaski County and extreme southeastern Saline County. Currently, the area of concern is moving over the top of East End in Saline County. If you hear the sirens in Saline and Pulaski County, that's why we've got that tornado warning that was posted not long ago from the National Weather Service. The cell itself moving to the east at about 35. Here's Interstate 530. The track is going to take it over Interstate 530 here within a few minutes. Currently, East End, you are in the path, and if not, right over the top of downtown East End. In Iron Springs, I would go ahead and make sure that I'm in my safe place as well. It's not too late. Wrightsville, Woodson, Rottaken, make sure you have something in your safe place, centermost part of your home, lowest level, a basement. Maybe even you have a storm shelter. Make sure you have something to put over your head. This is not expected to last long, but we still had that threat of severe thunderstorms and a brief tornado today. There it is right there. This is the area of concern, East End, Arkansas. You're 67, 167, moving over Highway 367 at this time. Nathan?
All right, Tom, let's take a look at Storm Track 11 because I'm looking at the rotation tool, and again, it's right over East End. So that is going to be the most dangerous part of this cell, moving right over East End. If it is producing a tornado at this time, it's going to be very close to East End. Let me switch over back to our rotation tool where you see the blues and greens. So we're not seeing anything really significant in terms of rotation, Tom, but certainly that area of 167 over East End and then headed towards Wrightsville, Woodson, and Rottaken. Certainly be on your guard, take your tornado precautions, lowest level of a sturdy structure, into your hallway, into your closet, and don't forget to put shoes on because if there is something that does happen, it's going to leave, quite a bit of debris with nails and stuff like that you don't want to step on. But as we zoom out here back to Max, things are quieting down here in a large part of Little Rock. Once again, the sirens went off, but Little Rock, we're drying things out. The worst of the cell, the worst of the rain, the hail potential is well to the south of Little Rock. So once again, Iron Springs could see some hail. The rotation is just down to the south of you. Wrightsville, Rottaken, Woodson, Keogh, and possibly towards England. England may be on the southern edge of this. It may pass just to the north of you. But those are the areas that have to be on your guard just in case this does produce a tornado at any moment. So
right there
is the talk that there could be maybe some debris being detected by radar.
Yeah, I'm looking at that as well.
So
if you want to pull up our debris signature, Nathan, I'll talk about this until you pull that up. But yeah, it'd be right over East End. Again, if you live in Iron Springs, if you live over in Wrightsville, Rottaken, we're going to look for what we call a debris signature.
There's a little bit of lowering over East End.
Yeah, right here.
You got to be cautious, though, because it's like, the radar sometimes says this is a debris signature, and it's actually not. So until we get a little more confirmation from the National Weather Service, this could be the radar saying that there is something on the ground at this time picking up debris, and the radar is picking up that debris as it's being launched into the air. It could just be leaves. It could be some tree branches. We just don't know right now because we haven't gotten any confirmation that this is actually a tornado on the ground. But that's a wait-and-see situation. But I think it highlights the more concern for this cell, Tom.
Yeah, and I think if you live along East End Road and East Woodson Lateral Road, this is where the cell is headed toward. Here's some of the roadways in the area here. Nabholz Road, there's Woodson Lateral, and this is a little appendage right here. This is our concern, East End Road to Woodson Lateral. It's moving over the top of you right now. If you live on Clear Creek Road, if you live on Lakeshore Drive, that is just south of Woodson Lateral. Nabholz is there as well, and some of the other roadways, Interstate 530. It's not quite to Interstate 530. It is now moving over 367 at 167. That's where we're finding the strong signature of rotation and the possible debris signature. National Weather Service says they are keeping a close eye on it. But a tornado warning, let me just once again mention tornado warning, Saline County and Pulaski counties right now. In southern Saline County, you've got that border of Pulaski, Saline, not quite over to Jefferson County. That's where we find the polygon. If you live in Woodson, Hensley, Rottaken, Wrightsville, you're in the path of this potential tornado. Again, no confirmation that it is on the ground, but we're keeping a close eye on it. I'm sorry, what was that? Our producer, JD, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let Nathan's got the shot in that area.
Yeah, so this is from iDrive Arkansas. This is Interstate 530. This is, of course, where the rain is taking place, but it's facing to the north. So if there was something happening, it's still, I think it's just to the north of where this rotation is, but certainly it's stormy Friday evening. And this is the only cell that we are concerned about at this time, Tom, because there's not too much going on for the rest of the THV 11 viewing area. As we take a look here on radar, there's the higher resolution radar, and it is pretty quiet. So it's just one lone cell, but it is a spicy cell that has been trouble over the past 1 to 2 hours. And I think this is actually the second cell that merged with that first cell moving in from Garland County, and maybe this just gave enough uptick with the two cells merging that we have a little more rotation to work with. We do have just enough ingredients in the environment, just enough wind energy for the storm to reach its maximum potential, which would be to produce a brief tornado.
Right. And this is now moving over 167, close to 530. That's where the center of concern is, or the rotation. So if you live in southern Saline County, East End, there is just enough of a signature of rotation there. It's to the southeast of Iron Springs, getting close to the split at 530 and 67, 167. That would be the split like you'd go taking down to Sheridan. But there it is. It's the southern end, the southern flank of this supercell, as Nathan was talking about. Two cells. This is the southern cell. It kind of merged with the northern cell that was producing all the hail and robbed all the energy. He's backing it up to show you where the strongest rotation was located, near Sardis in the Dollar General. Anytime you see a little emblem like that, that's a D, Dollar General. We try to put some things there. If you know where that is in the Sardis area, then you know how close you were to that possible tornado. It is now moving to the east. It's moving over 367 to 167.
That rotation has weakened significantly.
I was going to say
so it could have been a brief touchdown. Looking back at this radar, there's certainly some really good inflow, really good outflow, the mechanics of this cell really started to kick into gear right over Sardis and in between Sardis and East End. So it may have produced something. We'll take a look at that debris signature one more time to see if it all matched up. But now that rotation has really started to weaken and probably gusted out. So the tornado threat really has started to drop as it approaches Rocktaken and Woodson, but still be in your safe place just in case. I'm going to take a look at the debris signature once again, Tom, to see how that happened and if that really correlated with the actual uptick in the winds, because there was a little drop right there when we were looking at this debris signature potential earlier, and it's right there just to the east of Sardis, it looks like, and then it continued to possibly pick up around East End. So that's definitely something a little suspicious, I would say. And now it's kind of disappeared.
Just kind of dissipated.
There's a lot of noise. I know viewers are probably like, what are we looking at? And it's just, there was potential. I think the radar could have picked up on something with a brief touchdown.
If there's anything, it's going to be in this vicinity. 167, between 367 and 167, and get closer to 530. But it's just not as tightly wound up. It looks like it's broadening out quite a bit or weakening, but it may cycle back up. Just this one little rogue cell. So still stay in your safe place. If you live in Wrightsville, if you live up toward... if you live in Rocktaken, even Woodson, go ahead and stay in your safe place. East End, the cell is lifting away from you. Certainly some good news. If you live anywhere along I-530, going out of Pulaski County into northern parts, or I should say southern Saline County, southern parts of Pulaski County, you're still under this warning until the National Weather Service says that it's not an issue anymore. And of course, we're looking for the rotation. There's not a whole lot there. Nathan's going to put a track on it, and you will be in the path of this at 7:05, Rocktaken. Estes at 7:13. You got Keogh 7:21 and Pennis at 7:30, just to name a few of those locations.
And the National Weather Service is saying that signature of the debris could have been like just a gust of wind that may have picked up leaves and maybe a very light debris that the radar picked up just with leaves and grass if there was a good rush of wind coming from that cell. So hopefully that was the case and it wasn't something larger debris. Of course, we had not heard anything once again. This is not a confirmed tornado warning by any means, but it does show a little bit of rotation, or it did show a more significant rotation just about 15 minutes ago. And this cell is all by itself. We do have enough ingredients in the atmosphere just to watch out for any cell that can tap into this environment. It's warm, it's humid, and it's February, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's that time of year. It's severe weather season in Arkansas, and you just have to be prepared for these type of situations. Once again, there is a lot of rain happening, some lightning and thunder, but the main concern is the potential of this cell still potentially producing maybe a brief tornado. The rotation has really gone down over the past few scans, but we still cannot let our guard down because it looks like it's trying to maybe pick back up once again, as that is the latest scan here, Tom. So if there's something there, it's going to be very close to Rottaken. Looks like there's some inflow happening around Rottaken, so this may try to cycle up once again.
Yeah, that's what the Weather Service was saying, that that wind surge over East End may have weakened the circulation. But as we've seen time and time again with these little individual cells, sometimes they go through cycles. It may cycle back up, as Nathan's saying here. Highway 365 now along Wrightsville, Rottaken, Woodson, and even a little further up the road. If you live anywhere near Scott, Highway 161 and 165 near Scott. Keogh, you're still in the path of this storm with the tornado warning until 7:15. That's 12 minutes away, roughly 12 minutes away is the polygon. That's that red box there. If you're within that polygon, then you're in the path of this potential tornado. There you go, right in this general area near Rottaken, Wrightsville. It may redevelop. That appendage, we're going to look at it closely. That appendage may come back into play. The Hook Echo, you've heard us talk numerous times about that. And they're very impressive there near East End, west of East End. And then notice how it just kind of weakens a bit as it moves through. It may have lost a little bit of its identity, but could cycle back up here. So we're going to keep a close eye on it for you. Again, if you live along Highway 365, anywhere between Wrightsville down to Hensley, Arkansas. Hensley, you're just on the edge of that polygon. And then it takes a path across the Arkansas River into Highway 161 and Highways 232. Keogh is going to be in the path of this storm, as well as you get out and about England. You're on the outer edges of this polygon, or this area that we have that is tornado warned.
And Tom, people in Woodson and Hensley are just to the south of this cell. So it looks like, for the most part, they're going to be out of the danger zone. It's going to be Rottaken 161, like you said, Keogh 232. Looking at the rotation, still it's there. We cannot rule it out that it may still try to produce a tornado. So the blue is the inflow, or the winds going towards the radar, which is situated in North Little Rock, and the red are the winds going away from the radar. So this is the rotation we're looking at right here, right over Rottaken, Highway 365, moving its way off to the east about 45 miles per hour. So that is going to be the most dangerous part of this cell, that's still maintaining its strength. It's still looking dangerous. It's still producing rotation. That rotation has picked up certainly somewhat compared to just a few scans about 5 minutes ago. We are getting some, looks like, damage with some tree limbs down, and some power outages maybe around Sardis Road and Shannon Hills.
But the good news, National Weather Service says that it looks as if the inflow to the storm has been cut off, and they're going to cancel this tornado warning. But as they cancel it, just know that this is still a dangerous cell, and it may cycle back up and become stronger. We're waiting for them to cancel that tornado warning. That box will disappear here in just a minute. Here at 7:05, 7:15 is when the warning is in effect for. But that's certainly good news, Nathan. I hate to say this, it's February. I hate to say that we have these types of events in February, a low in risk of severe weather, but all it takes is one rogue cell, and that's what we have. One rogue cell tonight that has produced some hail and a possible tornado, and like he shared just a moment ago, some damage, some wind damage at least. So we'll keep an eye on this for you and await the cancellation of this tornado warning that is now pretty much moved down to Saline and is in Pulaski County, and will affect areas in southwestern and western Lonoke County here in the next 15 to 30 minutes. And it's just that, Nathan, it's just that one cell,
But it only takes one cell, Tom, and those are the cells that you have to certainly watch out for when you have a cell all by itself. Thankfully, our environment is not primed for severe weather. Otherwise, this would be an entirely different story. We'd be looking at the potential of strong tornadoes. We just have enough ingredients in place that storms that can tap into the environment and reach their maximum potential could produce hail. We've seen that already in Garland County, a 1 to 2 inch size hail in Garland County, and trying to make its way into Saline County earlier. And then also there could be some damaging wind gusts, maybe as high as 60 to 70 miles per hour. The tornado threat is low, it's slim, but it cannot be ruled out. And this trend will continue through the rest of the evening into the early overnight hours, probably until midnight or 1 o'clock. Just because any cell, once again, that can tap into the environment and reach its maximum potential could get a little bit on the spicy side. But it's good news to see that rotation weakening. If you're just joining us once again, they're going to cancel this tornado warning
And
at
they have.
7:15.
Yeah, they have expired, the tornado warning. But the box is going to stay up a little while longer, Nathan.
Okay, so with that said, still be on your guard off to the east just in case this cell decides to cycle up once again.
That's right. So, with that, we're going to take a break here, go back to our network programming. Nathan and I will be around here this evening if we have any more warnings, and it's very possible. So stay tuned, THV 11. Make sure you have the app with you. If the warnings are issued, go to your safe place, take your phone with you, as this tornado warning is being expired for Lonoke, Pulaski, and Saline counties. And from here, we will have more. For Nathan Scott, I'm Tom Brannon. We'll be back with more as it becomes necessary. And the area of concern is around Highway 232 and 161 as it moves to the east very slowly. Here's Keogh. Keogh, you're in the path. If it continues its current movement, then it will move right over Keogh, if not just to the north. You've got Blakemore and Pettis just to your east. So along Highway 31 and 15, those are some of the major highways here in southern parts of Pulaski and Lonoke counties with this potential tornado once again. We never had a confirmation, but we have wind damage, some trees and power lines down. Saw that a tree had landed on a house, possibly strong wind gusts or a brief tornado. Here's the track. 737 Keogh, you will be affected. 757 Pettis, Hamilton and Slovak, 827 and 851. 15-mile-per-hour movement. So this storm is really moving very, very slowly.
All right, Tom, the fire department in East End reports numerous trees down and limbs down, and they are responding to a tree on a home, and THV 11 has a crew on the way to see what that damage really looks like, and of course we'll have more on that coming up at 10 o'clock. But this cell, it's all by itself, so that is a little bit of a concern, Tom, because when we take a look at the rest of the region, there's nothing going on to the south of this cell. So this cell is able to feed off the environment as long as it wants to. So that's why we extended that track into Prairie County. There's no tornado warning for Prairie County, but if this cell holds together, maintains its strength, it will approach Hamilton and it will make its way into Prairie County, into the community of Slovak. So even though you're not under a tornado warning, just want to give you a heads up because this cell does have the potential of holding on and may still be able to produce a tornado at any moment. And we're looking at the potential of a tornado with this cell. Nothing has been confirmed as of right now. There could certainly have been a brief touchdown earlier in Sardis, but this is the same storm, so it's had a history of producing damage. So we need to take it a little bit more seriously now, since it has that history. Whether or not it was a tornado or just a rush of wind, that certainly can still bring down some trees if it's pushing winds out 60 to 70 miles per hour. To the north of the rotation, it's heavy rain and probably some thunder and lightning. But the main concern we have with this cell, Tom, is that rotation. It's still there. There's definitely still a little couplet as it works its way across Highway 232, where you see the blues and oranges very close together. And here is the line of Pulaski County getting into Lonoke County. There's Toltec, so we have the state park right there. It's going to be very close to Toltec. There's Cobb's, Highway 15, Highway 165, and it's going to continue to push its way off to east about 15 to 20 miles per hour.
So if you're at home right now, this is affecting you during dinner time. What you need to do is just calmly grab the kids, grab your pets, go to your safe place. And if you're not quite sure in your home, go to the innermost room of your house, lowest level of your home. Maybe you've got a basement. Go to the basement, put something over the top of your head, and just kind of go along with us as we will ride this out together. With this tornado warning in southern Pulaski County and parts of western Lonoke County. This is really the only cell we have. There are a few more that are popping up just to the west, but it's this cell. There were two tonight. One that developed and moved through Garland, Saline, and parts of Pulaski County with large hail. Another cell developed and cut that first one off, and that's what this cell is. This is that second cell, and that red area is a polygon that indicates that your area is under a tornado warning until 8 o'clock tonight, and that would be for extreme upstream southern Pulaski County and western and southwestern parts of Lonoke County. Highways 15, 161, 232 in this red shaded area until 8 o'clock. We're talking about Keogh, we're talking Pettis, and on down the road you've got Blakemore, Arkansas. Farming areas out here, Scott, Toltec, Toltec Mounds. Those are the areas that are in the path of this possible tornado. So make sure you got the kids, go to a safe place, put something over your head to keep you safe in case we have flying debris. We have had reports of some wind damage, power lines, trees on homes over in the Sardis area, East End area, and we're going to check that out. Here's the area of rotation. I'll let Nathan describe it a little bit more.
Tom, it's still a little couplet there. This storm cell is still producing just enough rotation that it may produce a brief tornado at any moment. And that's why we are on air at this time, because, of course, we have viewers in Pulaski County and Lonoke County. It looks like it has gone down just a little bit, but you know the history with a supercell thunderstorm, it goes through cycles. It cycles up, may produce a brief tornado, weakens, cycles down, and cycles right back up. So this could be, you know, a little bit of a pattern we're going to have to deal with through this evening, just because there's nothing to the south of this cell. But once again, the main concern is that rotation very close to Toltec, very close to Cobbs and Keogh. If you're watching us in those locations, you just need to take your tornado precautions just in case. This has not been confirmed by any means, but this storm itself has had a history of producing downed trees and also a tree on a home in Sardis. This came from southern parts of Pulaski County and extreme eastern parts of Saline County. And as it's made its way through Pulaski County, now entering into Lonoke County, it's still packing quite a punch, and you just don't want to let your guard down. Although, when we take a look at the structure of this cell, Tom, it's certainly not that impressive. And let's go over to Storm Track 11 as well, because this really pinpoints exactly where the rotation could be within this cell. I'm going to rewind this back just for about 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and where you see that little pinpoint of green, that's where the rotation ticked up just a little bit to the west of Keogh. But now we're seeing that rotation kind of bow out a little bit more. It's not so much of a circle. So that, to me, is indicating more of a gusty wind or damaging wind threat versus actual rotation touching the ground, Tom.
National Weather Service just said, like you mentioned, they're going to cancel the warning. The rotation has weakened quite a bit. But keep on your toes. These things cycle back up, and then they weaken, they cycle back up again. And this is the area that could have rotation with it, flattening out, becoming more of a straight line wind issue. But we're waiting for the Weather Service to cancel this warning. We'll stay here until they do so. Then we'll go back to network, and if we have more tornado warnings, we will stay with it. And yeah, they're canceling the tornado warning in Lonoke and Pulaski County, as the cell looks like. Now it's in Lonoke County, at least the dangerous part of it that could have a tornado. It's crossed over Pulaski into Lonoke County, Scott upstream, Keogh downstream. That's where we're finding the rotation tonight. So with the warning canceled, and that means that we don't have another, well, we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the same area for damaging wind and even some large hail, but the tornado threat has waned on down just a bit. Nathan and I will be here until the threat has ended. We may be popping in on your TV here in just a few minutes. Right now, though, we'll go back to network.